Training to work.
So you think that the Republican president that just won an overwhelming victory should raise taxes and increase welfare in this country?
I think he should raise taxes on. I think he should make sure he.
Is there an ideological litmus test that you have to believe in progressive radicalism to get hired now? Because that's what it seems like to us.
Holocaust denialism.
That's the box they have to check.
Which is a larger point, which is only using it when it's convenient for them. But let's take a step back. If Donald Trump were serious about the deficit, he would not be giving more tax cuts to billionaires. If he were serious about helping working class people, he wouldn't create more barriers for people to get on Medicaid and create more work requirements when 90% of people are either working or training to work.
So you think that the Republican president that just won an overwhelming victory should raise taxes and increase welfare in this country?
I think he should raise taxes on. I think he should make sure he's raising taxes on billionaires so they pay their fair share and not hurting people who are on Medicaid who have enough things to worry about right now.
More Medicaid and more taxes.
I want people to get the health care that they need for their families.
You want illegal immigrants?
For people who need it and can't afford it, I absolutely want more people to get health care.
Well, Scott, I just want to hang on.
I just want there's 11 million people who are going to lose health care because of
if you're illegal and you won't get off grandma's couch.
No, it's not. It's not illegal. It's not undocumented. No, it's not. It's not 11 million undocumented.
Okay, listen,
it's 1 million. 1 million undocumented.
We actually have the facts.
I'm really ready to
hang on a second. We have the facts. We got to go, but I'll show the facts before we go since you guys are fighting over it. There are 1.4 million undocumented residents who are covered on Medicaid through state funding, not federal funding. The rest of those people are Americans. Some of those people are already covered under the program and have to meet more stringent requirements. Some of those people will have to meet more stringent requirements, even though they may have young children at home, which is a new thing in the bill. So as I've said before, there are changes being made to Medicaid that are designed so that fewer people are on them, including some people who are working, but who might need to work less because they have young kids. Those people may lose Medicaid coverage. That's just a fact.
Excuse me,
right now but why on earth would she not be able to answer that question?
She has the same answer that every Republican has had for time immemorial. Why isn't there any diversity of viewpoint in the faculty at a college?
So what is the answer?
It was a joke of a question.
Okay.
It was a joke of a question.
So what's the answer? What's the answer? Is it an ideological litmus test to have a Holocaust denier be asked to ask?
That's not an ideological. Is there an ideological litmus test that you have to believe in progressive radicalism to get hired now? Because that's what it seems like to us.
Holocaust denialism.
That's the box they have to check.
Which is card-carrying, textbook anti-Semitism. You think doesn't count?
She wasn't responding to that, and is a patently ridiculous assertion.
Why are you assuming that she wasn't responding to that when she gave answer?
Because I'm a thinking human being who can see what a rational person would say to a ridiculous question.
She didn't say that's a ridiculous question.
You were totally misconstruing this.
Scott, literally, we played it for the American people to see.
Yeah, and every single person's going to see it my way.
She literally did not answer. She did not answer the question the way you want to answer the question, and that question has an answer. What is the answer?
The answer to that question is you're an idiot. To that congressman. That is the answer to that question.
What is the answer? Will the federal government, if somebody comes in and says, I don't believe the Holocaust really happened, will the federal government bring the hammer down on universities for saying that is not a viewpoint that we are allowing on our campuses?
The question would be
that the answer ought to be no, but it sounds like neither of you want to give an answer.
No, the answer ought to be what kind of litmus test is Harvard putting on its faculty now?
Yes.
Only 3% of its faculty are Republicans.
I mean, she didn't have a note card in front of her to tell her the answer, and this is what happens when you have somebody who lied about having an education degree. They didn't teach about the Holocaust maybe when she was getting her French degree. If she actually has that.
We also didn't even.
You're accusing her of being a Holocaust?
No, Hold on a second.
This is outrageous.
Excuse me,
Scott.
Stop. Everybody stop. Everybody stop for a second. Excuse me, Scott. Nobody accused her of being a Holocaust denier.
You're implying that that's what she wants.
No one did that. It is completely.
The line of inquiry here is an
implication
that she's like, sure,
it is
let's
completely disingenuous for you to sit at this table and say that we accused her of being a Holocaust denier.
I think it's disingenuous to portray this interaction the way you are.
Absolutely no one said that. It is disingenuous.
How are you portraying it?
It's disingenuous. It's disrespectful.
I think the
question was disingenuous.
So, excuse me.
It was a disingenuous question.
How is it a disingenuous question? The other part of the question is, if you are an election denier, and Harvard said you can't be an election denier and teach at this school, is that a litmus test?
The question is, what litmus test is Harvard putting on its faculty?
Okay,
we know they have one set of ideology.
But it is very clear that neither of you want to answer a very simple question.
So now you're accusing
us. Are you
accusing us?
Are you
accusing him and me?
Is Harvard allowed, or any school, any school allowed to say that these are facts, and if you don't believe in facts, you cannot teach here? Are they allowed to do that?
The question is, what is the litmus test today? And what kind of faculty do you want?
My
you want
question.
People who all have the same views, or
when
a
you
diversity
answer
of
my
views?
question with a question, you are dodging.
When
so
you ask
question.
me questions that I think are kind of ridiculous framing of this issue, then I think you're misconstruing the issue.
How is it a ridiculous framing?
Because
you either believe that there are things that are facts or you don't.
I do believe in facts, and I also believe that member of Congress was creating a disingenuous, ridiculous question designed for this gotcha moment right here.
Okay, it is very telling that you are not able or willing to even entertain an answer. You could answer the question right now, and you refuse to do it.
Wait a minute. Look, Harvard has a right to have any litmus test they want for their faculty. They're a private institution.
Okay, all right. Well, there's the answer to your question. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate that.